Welcome back to Firestorm Games and another episode of the Hobby Table, where we'll be showing you how to quickly paint Genestealer Cult Aberrants so that you can get them onto the tabletop in no time at all. Start things off by priming with white. This will give our later washes a nice light surface to stain and modify the colour of. The Corax White spray paint from Games Workshop is a good option for this, as it will allow us to cover our miniatures very quickly. First of all, let's tackle the armour plates. These are a nice bright blue, so let's apply a base coat of Thousand Suns blue over them. With all of the base coats in this tutorial, mix in a little water to thin out the paint and apply a couple of thin layers. Make sure you allow the paint to dry thoroughly between your application. This layering technique will result in a good, smooth base colour. As you apply the step, if the plate doesn't have a defined edge all the way around it, leave it for white for now and we'll tackle this later on. For the cloth remnants of the trousers as well as the claws of the aberrant, apply a base coat of the fang. To paint the cloth tabard around the waist, I'll be applying a base coat of Mephiston Red. Next, we'll be tackling any armour panels, weapon handles or belts that the aberrant may have. We want these to be dark enough to contrast against the brighter colours, but not too dark to be able to be washed over. Therefore, use some Mechanicus Standard Grey for this step. If your aberrant is carrying any skulls like this one, then you can start to give them a bleached bone colour using some Rakarth flesh. The final base coat is to be applied to any metallic areas of the miniature, and for this step I'll be using Lead Belcher. After you finish with this paint, make sure that you thoroughly clean your brushes and change your paint water to prevent any cross-contamination of any metal flakes. With all of the base coats completed, we can now begin the washes, but before you do so, I would suggest cleaning up any mistakes on the white areas of the model, such as the skin, using some Ceramite White. With the skin prepped, we can now apply a wash of Reichland Flesh Shade over it to give it that pallid skin tone. Straight from the pot, the wash will be much too strong, but this can be remedied by mixing in a little Lamia Medium or water in with your wash. A ratio of 2 parts water or medium to 1 part wash is perfect for this. Next, we can start to apply a wash of Druchii Violet, thinned in the same manner as before, except this time we will instead be focusing this wash around the more alien parts of the miniature. Areas like the clawed hands, the skin around the blue carapace, and also into the deepest recesses of the face. The next wash to apply is some thinned Drakenhof Nightshade. This will create a bluish tone in the skin, so I want to apply it to the plates that didn't have a fully defined edge and simply transitioned into the arm or leg. For these parts, focus the wash over the parts that do have an edge. This will result in a blue to skin gradient over these areas. You can also use this to pick out the ridges in the foreheads and spine as well. If your aberrant has a protruding tongue, you can use a wash of Caribou Crimson to give it a pale pink colour. You can create the yellowish eyes and teeth of your aberrants by applying a little Cassandori yellow over them. Next up, we'll be using Nuln Oil over the carapace, blue cloth and armour panels on the miniature to help bring out the details by adding shadows to the recesses. The final wash of Agrax Earthshade can be applied to the metal areas to give them a dirted, rusted appearance, as well as to the red cloth and bone coloured areas to help bring out some of the detailing in them. And here we have the finished aberrant, who you can see has been based with some textured paint. If you enjoyed this quick guide to getting your aberrants painted and onto the tabletop in as little time as possible, then please do let us know in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions for future tutorials, let us know them as well. You can find this miniature and all of the paints used in this video on the Firestorm Games web store for at least 10% off the RRP, and you can find a link to the site in the description below. And so we just want to finish off by saying a big thank you for watching this video, and we hope to see you again on Firestorm Games.